All right, let's go. Ayo, we're three hot guys sharing our opinions because we're special and different. Gold medals, we're winning. Can't help it if we're burdened by our intellect. You can play checkers while we pretend we know the rules to chess. The council has spoken, and we are the chosen. Your nose is broken because I broke it.
This sucks.
And welcome back to another episode of Will of the Council. That's right, we went down today. I'm sick. I have a low range that can't be matched while well. We've got Jordan in the booth.
Oh, we're going to talk about movies again, folks. I'm so sorry. Media it is.
We've got Danny, who's in a secret world that looks strikingly similar to a video game.
What do I have to do? You just have to eat.
It's also like it doesn't look like the game.
Like you're already talking about it.
Danny, you are in the video game, and here you must hoonie or pop.
Oh no!
We've got Becky on the ones and twos.
My friends.
Becky's
Sorry,
job.
wait, that's Black Mirror.
This episode is just going to be cutting all of the coughing out of the episode.
Yeah,
that's been her job for the last month. Critical support to our girl in the rafters. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine.
I'm sure you're okay. You've got insurance, right? Oh, damn it!
Shut up.
Well, we are going to be talking today, unfortunately, not about the United Healthcare CEO who was ruthlessly gunned down right outside his apartment building, nor are we going to talk about the collapse of the South Korean government, French government, or the like. We're going to be talking about the most important thing that happened this weekend, and that is the release of the Pac-Man trailer for Secret Level, a Netflix series that dares ask the question, what will Mario graphics look like in 2013?
True, but it's actually Amazon Prime. It's Prime Video.
Wonderful.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so if you haven't seen the ads for Secret Level, it is like, I really can't describe it other than they are trying to make prestige TV about stupid fucking video games. Like, they saw how much money Fallout made, and they were like, oh, we can do this with, like, we can do this with Mario. We can do this with Burger
Sonic.
Time. We can do this with Gauntlet. So it's like an entire season where each episode is a different video game. And from what we've seen so far, each individual episode isn't like the Sonic movie where it's all in jokes for the man-children who watch these movies.
Right.
It's instead the way that they made video games movies in like 2003, where it's just like very loosely tied to the concept of the video game and is a prestige reimagining of the setting. Think more like Dragon Ball Evolution than Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah, sure.
Right. The
Wiki Pac-Man one came out today, and it looks real good.
The Wiki describes it as like 15 animated standalone short stories based on the games themselves that, probably primarily don't have too strong of a story themselves. Like Pac-Man, for example.
Well, okay, here's the thing I take umbrage with in that. Because Mega Man does have a story. I mean, it doesn't have like a whole lore.
I only said that because Pac-Man was next on the list, but you're right. There are many things on here that do have stories. So I don't know. There's just like a reimagining of like, well, I guess Pac-Man is the how do we do this, but like for a movie, So I don't know.
Okay, there is a bar that needs to be cleared by the original IP or whatever. Because, like, you can make a media property off of Mega Man. Not only is, like, the original Mega Man, it does have, like, a, Mega Man and, like, Rock and Roll. They have a backstory, and Dr. Light and Dr. Wily. I think those are, they are established enough characters with some semblance of background that you can make a media property off of it. But Pac-Man is, like, nothing. It's little
awesome.
Yellow circle that eats dots and runs away from ghosts.
I want to talk pretty discreetly about two things. Firstly, the lineup for the games they picked is so fucking funny. If I'm not incorrect, there is going to be a Concord episode.
Yes.
That post dates the cancellation and taking down of Concord. Like they just like went in on it on the assumption that it was going to be the next big thing. And they were like, oh, by the time this comes out, it'll be riding the wave of Concord. And it's already gone. And secondly, Pac-Man already has a definitive, like, what if Pac-Man was real life video, and it's the Terminal Montage April Fool's video from like 2 years ago.
It was actually a Halloween special, which is one of my favorite videos. I'm glad you mentioned it. It's so good, and it's pretty much Dead Space, but Pac-Man.
Oh, yeah! I have seen that.
It's fun as hell. It's
Yes!
really cool.
Great little video. It's beautiful.
I think it's about as much blood you could wring from the stone of Pac-Man. It's like you watch it and you're like, okay, this is clearly Pac-Man. I get it. I am not going to demand any more of this. But instead, we got this trailer, which I guess we should talk a little bit about the content of the trailer. In it, some sort of fucked up alien who kind of looks like who's that character from Yeah, it looks like that character from Clone Wars, the bounty hunter who has blue skin.
Yeah. Thank you for
description.
making a media tie that wasn't Harry Potter. Sorry, everybody.
He looks really
Voldemort.
strange, but is supposed to, I guess, evoke the feeling of Pac-Man. I guess his face is kind of similar.
Yeah.
And it's like this guy in a cloak,
It's in like a yellow
cosplaying like
hoodie.
a character from Journey, and he's like, what do I do in this fucked up Pac-Man world? And this Oracle type character goes, you either eat or you are eaten. And then he's like running around and little aliens are chasing him, which I guess are supposed to represent Blinky, Pinky, Inky, and Sue.
Which definitely rips exactly from that Terminal Montage video.
Yes, it's literally exactly the same. The true Terminal Montage heads among you will remember when this video was not called something about Pac-Man, but was called like an acronym for Pac-Man, and it was like the photosensitive arc react, right?
Yes, Photon Aerospace Control.
Yeah. It tanked its SEO so bad he had to change it back. So this is not
YouTube.
a promising start to this show, that it's going to be so unrecognizable from the get that they're going to have to be like, but it's Pac-Man. Get it? It's Pac-Man. Get it? It's Pac-Man.
Well, it's funny you say that because mid-video, they show you like subliminal images flashing at you. One of the flashing images is literally just Pac-Man. It's just a picture of Pac-Man. Here, I'll send it in our
Oh,
chat.
no, dude.
It's just that.
No.
Awesome. Oh
Dude,
my.
That's in the video.
Dude,
This is in the video we just
I don't
watched.
want to see this, dude. This is going to be the image for this episode, by the way. You all are going to see this along with us.
Please.
Oh my God. And look, the world is so constructed that the reflection of the world on this golden puck looks like a Pac-Man face. This is so fucking stupid.
It's
is the
awesome.
dumbest
Here's
shit
another
I've
one
ever
where
seen.
I guess he's grabbing the food, which is the cherries.
Fucking
which is
cherries,
so
man.
Dude, I'm going to cry.
Like,
This looks so good.
it's so
Like, okay, and, like,
fucking dumb.
To be fair, it's the dumbest thing in concept. I can't say that it looks so like bad or whatever, but because the concept is so dumb, it doesn't set itself up for success at all with images like this.
It's like, literally, you see him reaching for the fucking cherries. What are they trying to do there? Is everybody, like, in the viewing audience supposed to
that's
go,
the food.
oh, that's the cherries! I
No,
remember
literally.
the cherries!
That's the thing, is like they're trying to have it both ways. They're trying to have the like annoying ass prestige TV reimagining of video game that was like the way that they made video game movies in 2003. And they're trying to have the Sonic the Hedgehog movie thing where everyone will point at
Right.
every frame of the video and be like, that's the power up from the game. You can't have it both ways. It looks like shit. It looks terrible.
Just reminds me of Pixels, honestly.
Yes.
You know what? Say what you will about Pixels. The Pac-Man parts of Pixels were the best parts of
That's
Pixels by a lot.
And like Qbert turns into like a beautiful, sexy woman.
No, I did not like the fucking Qbert scenes. I did not like the sex with Qbert.
Okay, y'all watched Pixels?
Oh, we watched it together.
Oh, I mean, I guess we'll do this
man.
real quick as a tangent, but Danny and I, his then girlfriend, and I think Lewis got like plastered and went to like the Times Square movie theater to watch Pixels, and it was
one of the worst movies.
what do you want me to say?
Watched.
It was Pixels. It was one of the worst movies we've ever watched, and it was made perfect by the epic Good Charlotte Waka Flocka Flame
Thank
song
you.
that I still think
Oh,
about to this
so
day.
bad.
Game on.
Game on.
Game on. Oh my God. What I have to say about video game movies is I think that video game TV makes sense for the very, very few video games that are well written. The Last of Us's, the Fallouts, etc. This stupid shit where they try to make Q*bert into a $1 trillion franchise, we gotta move on, guys. It can't be the 90s
I know
forever.
we've talked about this before, but I feel like we're in a fucking circle, and it's just Harold and the purple crayon again.
It's Moana coming out at the same time as the live action Moana. It's like, oh my God.
That shit is infuriating because
can we progress as a fucking
people
species?
being like, I didn't even know Moana 2 was coming out. I'm sorry, you're dumb. Like, it's the second movie, it's a sequel. Like, that's a much more normal thing than the live action Moana or, Pac-Man, the movie coming out, okay? Like, Moana 2 is obvious, and the reviews are fine, right? If you've read the reviews of it, it's like a 60 to 70%. Not as good as the first movie. It's fun. Obviously, it kind of sucks.
The problem with Moana 2 is that it was adapted from what was supposed to be a weekly TV series.
Yeah, I forgot.
The movie is episodic because it was a fucking TV series like the Pac-Man show before they realized that was the dumbest idea ever.
Oh my God, I forgot. Dude, I actually forgot. I completely missed that. That's awesome. The problem is that that's epic. And you're right. It's in sequence with the live action, which is so awful.
Dude.
Why does every movie have to be turned into some sort of funnel that a person is going to hope that money just infinitely falls into? Like, why? I don't know, man.
You know what I was thinking about the other day? Do you remember the Christopher Nolan film Inception?
Yes. I love that movie.
Boy, what a miracle that movie came out at the last possible second. You could make a movie without it becoming like a $1 trillion MCU style franchise forever.
Yes.
We've never had to deal with Inception 2. We've never had to deal with what if The Architect had like a spin-off series on Apple TV. Just the one movie and nothing else about it ever again.
No, it was a movie that purely existed as like, I just want to make one movie from point A to point B.
Yes.
And it was awesome. And the movie is incredible. And it did amazing. And it's really good. I love it.
I really liked it. It was, I don't know, it just felt like a piece of art, you know?
Yes.
It didn't feel like a thing that's supposed to generate revenue. It felt like a piece of art. Whether you like it or not, I don't know. There's probably some people that are like, I actually don't like Inception very much. And it's like,
That's fine.
Whatever.
That's okay.
Fine.
That's okay.
That's also the point of art, is you're supposed to...
But isn't it great if you don't like Inception, you don't have to be confronted by 18 Inception spin-offs a week?
Yes.
Like, isn't it great that if you did not like the film, it is not now permanently a part of culture that you cannot escape from? Isn't that
Who's
wonderful?
excited for Lion King?
Anyone want to see Pac-Man 3? Dude.
Who's excited for... I ready for this? Who's excited for...
Snow White, dude.
Not just Snow White, which is also such an offender, but the real life movie of the history of Mufasa.
Well,
Mufasa looks it looks good.
It's called Mufasa the Lion King. I've seen like 4 trailers for this movie. It looks so bad. Oh my God, I need it to bomb so bad.
You know what? They should do something really daring. Instead of like expanding upon these 90s franchises and video games we were playing in the 90s forever, they should like, what if Mufasa, we got to see his cock?
yeah, that's...
Now you are innovating.
What if they were like, the next Lion King is a gay porno between Mufasa and Scar? Shake things up, Disney.
Finally.
You really want to pander to adults? There you go. That's how you fucking do it.
That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing. They're not sitting around like, I can't wait to watch a movie for babies. They're like, I need some gay porn with Mufasa.
No,
in
yeah,
it.
you gotta really animate the bedroom eyes lioness scene from the original Lion King. You know? Oh yeah, there you go.
You gave those kids that complex. Now you deal with it.
Yep. You gotta deliver. It's
all right. You all ready to get into the post?
It's not queer baiting. It's like furry baiting.
Shut up. My God.
This first one comes from r/am I overreacting, and peeps, I'm just gonna let you know this is gonna be pretty hard for you to listen to specifically.
Okay, sure.
Danny, you'll be fine, but as two white men, we're gonna have a little bit of trouble with this one. The title of this one is Am I Overreacting? My boyfriend thinks I sabotaged the mayonnaise because it was liquid.
Bitch. No.
Now, I think I speak for all crackers in the audience when I say a man's mayonnaise is his number one source of security. You do not fuck with a man's mayonnaise. You don't fuck with his mayonnaise. You don't fuck with a man's mayonnaise, and you don't fuck with mayonnaise either.
You can.
All right, so this one is not a post. It is a sequence of texts sent back and forth.
Oh, there's multiple. Oh, fuck yes. I just noticed the arrow on the side of the screen. All right, deal.
Danny, as the Latinx here, who doesn't have mayonnaise-based trauma, would you be willing to read the blue bubbles on this Am I Overreacting post?
Absolutely.
All right, so we'll start at number 1. So I'll be playing the part of the boyfriend here. Funny how all the Hellmann's is in a liquid state. Ideas.
What? What does that mean?
Lived on my own since 96. Never seen that. 2 separate bottles.
Are you talking about mayo?
Bravo.
So we went all day not fighting, and you're ending the night fighting over mayo. Okay.
Super weird you disappeared when you did, and both of them melted in the fridge. I have samples.
Newsflash, I do not eat mayonnaise. What melted?
Never seen anything like it. Going to bed.
What in the world are you talking about?
Great question. Try to answer tomorrow.
Mental break, I guess you're having. Nothing you're saying makes sense. First mayo, now something about melting?
How's this? I use Hellmann's mayo regularly, as you know. I know the viscosity.
Okay.
Both containers are literally liquid. Nothing else has melted in the fridge.
And I did this.
I didn't.
Okay. Can you describe this image for me?
It's a picture of Seth Meyers from Late Night with Seth Meyers doing the this person is fucking crazy hand signal.
Doing the circle to the side of his head. Yeah.
I want you to describe it. All right, sorry, continue.
I've been planking leftovers for late dinner all night before. Tomorrow starts a new week. Then mayo came out like soy sauce. That's a first. Then the other container did it. Never seen that in my life, even when the mayo is left out.
And you are blaming me? I don't even eat mayo.
Case and point. I just want to reiterate, it does say case and point, not case in point. Case and point. And I'm crazy.
What is it exactly you think I did?
I'm going to sleep.
Melted mayo? Sabotage your mayo? Wow. Good night.
Do yourself a favor. Open the trash can and look and tell me it's normal. And after that, there is like a blank spot. And he goes, just look at both containers.
An emoji of a thumbs up I sent.
Thus far, you haven't been able to poison me.
You were mental. You're mental.
We watch the same shows.
Save those bottles and go get them examined, LOL, and your brain while you're at it.
Well, they are in the trash. Feel free to investigate.
You think I sabotaged your mayo? Lol.
Tell me if the consistency makes
So
sense.
I tried poisoning you? What the hell is wrong with you, dude? I haven't touched your mayo or anyone's mayo. Not even touched store mayo.
How is it different from last night?
What happened last night?
I made a sandwich with mayo!
Okay. This is the weirdest conversation I have ever had.
So how are we feeling about this one, boys?
Okay, why? So he's being kind of like being a fucking weirdo, of course. Why is he like not explicitly explaining what he thinks his partner did?
All right, I'm going to actually give you a little bit of insight to this because as a man who is crazy, I do know the answer to this one.
I was hoping you had some mayo insight for us.
Well, many would say most of my insight is mayo insight. I'm channeling the ghost of James Beard here to give me sandwich-related wisdom. Listen, sometimes a man will get in his head about something. You know what I'm saying? Like overthink something so hard that he comes to a ridiculous conclusion. My wife hates me. I'm being poisoned. I'm being gang stalked. Someone presses them on it and they're like, well, tell me what's going on. And you can't say it out loud because if you say it out loud, you sound like a crazy person. So what she's asking him to reveal is the central thesis of this conversation, which is you have poisoned my mayonnaise in such a way that it caused it to become a liquid. I have evaded your attempt on my life by refusing to use the poisoned mayonnaise. But he can't say that because it's insane.
Is that okay? Hold on a second. I'm reading these texts again. Because I'm really trying to figure out.
This guy's really a master at it, because what he does is, instead of saying that, which is insane, he says a bunch of like weird offhand things that do kind of seem like normal remarks you'd have in an argument, like, never seen mayo like that before. And like, that is true if it melted, but in parentheses is, because you tried to kill me by poisoning my mayonnaise.
I'm rereading the beginning where he's like, like he starts off, I see what you're saying, where he very vague, like, funny how all the Hellmann's is in a liquid state. And like,
any ideas? In parentheses, you are trying to kill me. You are killing me.
And she doesn't eat mayo, or she doesn't use it ever. So calling it Hellmann's is like, unless you're eating mayo enough.
You know what Hellmann's is.
Right, exactly. So she's like, what does that mean? And she's like, oh, right, I guess Hellmann's mayo. Are you talking about the mayo in the fridge? And instead of like being like, yeah, something's wrong with it, he goes, bravo, like,
bravo.
Idiot. Yeah,
he immediately frames it as like, you know what I'm talking about, moron. And then he drives the conversation in such a way that it seems like all he has to prove the central thesis that she is trying to poison him by liquidating his mayo is that the mayo is in an unnatural state. Like, he's like, go look in the garbage and see if the mayo's liquid. That'll prove my point that you're trying to kill me by putting poison in my mayo. It's like, no, dude, that'll prove the mayo has spoiled.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, as a mayo expert, what's happening here?
I don't know. That's never happened to me. I've never seen mayo like that. I think that his wife is trying to poison him.
This is so. How do you come to the conclusion that your partner is trying to kill you, and why? Okay, if you seriously suspect your partner of trying to murder you, why is the thing that you do petty text messages? Like if I truly
in what
believe,
world do you have the read that your partner is a merciless, cold-blooded killer, and you're like, you know what'll get him? Being passive-aggressive on iMessage.
Yeah,
It's like you're trying to catch
You know what I would do if I
Garfield.
was trying to kill them? Like, they would say something like, how weird of you to disappear when you did, and my Hellmann's is melted. I would look at that text, and instead of being like, what are you talking about? I'd be like, he knows. And I'd walk into the other room and I'd blow his brains out.
Yeah.
Right?
Also, like, if you're trying to poison someone, why would you change like the texture or the viscosity of the mayonnaise?
Yeah, like,
so that it's super fucking obvious that you sabotaged it.
I've noticed that you're trying to kill me, and I've figured it out because you're very bad at it as well in this canon in my head.
Exactly.
You know,
or maybe it's just like, this was I know what she's doing. It's a mean prank. I love mayonnaise. She knows I love this, and she ruined it on purpose. Check the trash can.
I do like him saying, he's like, I have evaded your attempts to poison me. And she's like, what are you talking about? He goes, we watch the same shows.
Oh, yeah.
That's gotta be, they're like watching true crime, and he's like, this is real. They're gonna poison me with the mayonnaise.
Yes, it's. Oh my god, how stupid do you have to be to get like radicalized by true crime shows?
Like 30% of the population currently is. So
I know.
Also, it's awesome that the conversation starts with, we did not fight all day, and this is what you choose. And it's like, oh, good. This is a very healthy relationship.
No kidding. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Right.
Oh, we finally have a day where we're not fighting. Oh, and now it's the fucking mayonnaise. Like, can you two just break up?
What if he's got like a Duolingo style streak, and it's like 11:55 p.m. and he's like, fuck, we didn't fight today. Oh God, what's around? The mayonnaise.
I just. The poster does not.
This
okay.
is schizophrenia, right? Like, am I crazy?
It does seem like this guy is having at least. Well, he's having some sort of, I wouldn't call it like a mental break, but like he thinks he's living in this fantasy where like he's so important everyone's trying to kill him all the time, right? And it's totally delusional because like if you do think, it's one of those things where like he simultaneously believes this wholeheartedly, but is not leaving this woman for some reason. So like, I don't know how you rationalize that. It's got to be some sort of something.
Yeah. I don't understand why people, I mean, we've talked about this before. I kind of understand why it happens, but you know, just staying in a relationship like this, like what are you gaining here? You know, like
an alibi.
I guess, yeah.
Go
the
to
mayonnaise
the trash.
assassin, you know?
If there was a mayonnaise assassin, I'd be gone in a day.
What if it's like a reverse assassination? He has the bad mayo and he's like, okay, so here's how it's going to work. I'm going to make her go to the trash can. I'm going to piss her off so much. She's going to go to the trash can and that's where I kill her.
Oh, I see.
You know what I mean? Like, and then the trash can, poof, it's like a big explosion of something, the poison dust.
Mayonnaise.
Yeah.
Mayonnaise.
Yeah.
This is nuts. I don't know what to tell you to do, except I think you probably shouldn't have been in this relationship for a while now. It sounds really bad.
The question from the title is, am I overreacting? I think not. And I think, you know,
You're very normal in your reaction.
if you're dating someone who is clearly having some sort of mental break like this, if you care about them and love them, you should try and get them some help, at least. Try and figure out what's happening. See if you can't, like, get them to a doctor or something, because this is, I mean, this person is not going to be able to. I can speak as a white man. If you have cut yourself off from your mayo, something is seriously wrong.
That's true. It's a staple of our diet.
I've learned the ages.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Hit me.
The OP is 31 and he's 46.
Whoa.
No. No.
Yeah.
Time to go. Goodbye. Wow. That's. I was ready for you to be like, she's 17 and he's 18. Nope.
No, I was thinking like 22 and 25, something like that, you know?
Well, I actually was kind of
Wow.
expecting an older man because the way he texts is like, you got the viewers who are at
That's
home
true.
can't see it, but he does like he spaces his paragraphs by like clicking enter kind of. So
Yeah.
and every like sentence, instead of just kind of running on like a big message, has like spaces and centering to them. I'm like, oh, this guy might be older. Like,
All right. Do we want to vote on this one?
Yeah, sure.
yeah.
Decision time.
When it comes to the mayonnaise man, is she overreacting? 3, 2, 1.
No, absolutely
No,
not.
Your boyfriend is an insane
No.
person.
In fact, you're underreacting.
Also, point of order.
Yeah,
I don't think the poster listed their gender anywhere.
I guess it could be two guys.
It could
Or
be
a guy
gay
and a
couple.
girl.
Yeah, I don't know.
Here's why I know that it's a man and a woman. This woman has posted another post on Am I Overreacting that I'm just going to read the text to you real quick,
Okay.
and then we might be using an item.
I see.
So there is a woman that is a couple years younger than me who is very pretty, but she started working at my boyfriend's work. I've seen her flirting with my boyfriend, and she's married, but it doesn't seem to stop her. My boyfriend says I'm crazy for thinking she was flirting. He thinks it's all in my head because I'm jealous. His words. Yeah, I am a little bit. Anyway, last night he made a comment about her trying to add him on Facebook. I was upset and asked him, please don't add her, and he told me that she sent him this friend request a week ago, but he just told me last night. So I asked if he had checked out her profile, and his words were, I purposely have not gone to her profile, but I want to check it out because she must be something special since you're so threatened by her. I immediately excused myself and went to the bathroom and cried my eyes out, but now I'm overreacting according to him about how hurt that statement made me. Peeps, do you want to solo slam it real quick?
Yeah. If God, I don't want to break my desk, but woo, what a fucking! I'm hitting it a lot. I'm just like, again, Mario Party minigame. Like he's
Yahoo!
this,
Chance time.
it's, you know, you land on a bow, it's just like,
I'm gonna kill you.
yeah. Fuck this guy.
They should make the Prestige TV show about that.
Thank you. Yes.
How do you act like this is a 46-year-old? Genuinely, like I don't like this is like high school shit, garbage behavior. Even I can recognize this.
Well, okay, I'm gonna level with you. A lot of men of that age who are like going through their midlife crisis at this point, like in human history, end up like watching a lot of and then like idolizing like content for red-pilled 14-year-olds.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Like people like Andrew Tate's entire audience is like 14-year-olds who are like, I'll never get pussy, and like 46-year-olds who are like, I deserve more.
Yeah, that's fair, actually. I think you're right. I forgot about that.
The council has spoken.
This next one comes from Am I the Asshole? This is a long ass one, but it's broken into two sections, so we'll do the first one, vote, then do the second one.
Deal.
This comes from the Uni Mermaid. It says, am I the asshole for not eating a Thanksgiving dish I suspect was made last year?
Oh, wait, hold on. But there is a very important badge next to this person. Can we...
This is a top 1% poster on Am I the Asshole?
Reddit medals! Reddit gold!
That's so awesome. They give this to you when you've lost everything in your life, but you've gained everything on Reddit.
Oh, shit. Okay.
They actually give this to Joseph.
Die. Long-time lurker, first-time poster, but I'm so baffled about this situation, I need a non-biased perspective. My husband and I, 30-ish, have quite a large family. His parents, his 2 siblings, their spouses and kids, my divorced parents and their new spouses, plus my siblings and their spouses and kids. I know how a family works, dog. Altogether, we are well over 20 people, so family gatherings can be overwhelming for the person hosting. And yes, my divorced parents and their new spouses get along fine, there's no drama. Last night we celebrated Thanksgiving, and as a family tradition, everyone brings a dish. Usually we communicate with each other, so that way everyone is making different food. My sister-in-law said she was going to bring her mom's famous sweet potato casserole. I thought it was very nice of her since her mom passed away this year and she was honoring her memory by making the recipe. However, once I saw the dish, I truly think she brought last year's leftovers.
Whoa.
Instead of a big pan, she brought several small and medium containers of sweet potato casserole. It didn't smell weird, but it was very dry and it didn't look like a regular one. I didn't try it and discreetly told my husband my concerns, who also did not try it. Once Thanksgiving was over, my mother called me saying my sister-in-law was upset because she noticed I didn't try her dish. I told my mother about my fears and she said I'm too picky with food. There's no way a frozen casserole could last a year without having mold. I pointed to the several containers and said it could mean she cut the good parts out and left the moldy ones. After an awkward silence, we decided to agree to disagree and hang up. I feel bad for my sister-in-law, but I couldn't bring myself to eat something I'm not 100% sure is safe. Am I the asshole?
Ooh, okay.
This is awesome.
Now I know that we just talked about how weird it is to develop a sort of
Paranoia.
latent paranoia about your partner wanting to poison you or someone wanting to poison you. And that actually, I think there are reasonable contexts for that. And I am confident enough to say that this might be one of them.
Okay, to be clear, I do want to point out the sister-in-law has not lied because she said she's bringing her mother's famous sweet potato casserole.
That's
And this
true.
casserole could have been constructed by the mother.
Yeah, oh no.
The other thing is, I hate to be like this, food doesn't often get moldy in the freezer, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like you can leave a sweet potato casserole in the freezer for a year and still eat it. It may be dry and freezer burnt, but it can be edible.
I think so.
Right?
I think so.
Yeah, I guess so.
But
Oh.
I mean,
Listen. If you're scared about it and you just politely don't eat it and you're just like, you know what? I'm not feeling it. Even if it's your paranoia of it being a year old, I think that's fine.
Yeah, like what if instead of a year old, she was just like, I'm not feeling sweet potatoes
That's
today.
what I'm saying.
Yeah, it seems like the way to resolve this is the mother-in-law's like, your sister-in-law was very upset because you didn't eat the sweet potato casserole. And instead of being like, I think she was tricking me, you just be like, I just wasn't in the mood for sweet potatoes. Or, oh, I was full by the time I saw it.
Right, exactly. You're like, oh, I just got so swept up in everything and I just got full. I wanted to try it, but I couldn't.
Like I've been to a number of Thanksgivings. I'm not a stuffing guy. So sometimes people be like, why aren't you having any stuffing? Like kind of offended by it. And I'll be like, I just don't really like stuffing.
You're not a
And that's the end of the conversation.
I mean,
I'm
I
not
think
a
you should be
stuffing guy.
killed, but we'll get to that
I
conversation
think you
later.
should be shot on the street like a
Oh,
dog.
enjoy your wet bread, you stupid
I
fuck.
will.
I
Oh my
will.
God.
It's amazing.
Wet bread, celery, and onion casserole. Yeah,
That's
you're
fucking
damn fucking right. I
awesome.
will. Shut the fuck up. Anyway,
Thank God.
Oh my God.
Jordan's
You
here.
people-
Holy shit.
I'm revoking your cracker card, by the way. Like,
yeah, that's like cracker 101,
yeah, no,
dude.
come on, bro.
No, listen, you people, there's so much wonderful food on Thanksgiving, and you want to eat the only food there that could feasibly be served out of a slop trough. Come on.
Amazing.
Yes.
It tastes
Yes.
awesome.
Yes, for pigs.
yeah.
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
No, it tastes like wet bread.
Well, call
Come
me
on.
Piggy. I'm going to the fucking store,
Yeah,
dude.
bro, man.
You're going to market?
Yeah.
Well, my ass is staying home.
I even like the fucking stovetop pre-boxed shit, bro. I'll eat that shit like
that
crazy.
shit's
It's
so
so good, man.
Okay, you people actually are just
Hey, man,
disgusting.
that's
Are you
not
kidding me?
true. This is like you're the
eating
minority
boxed
here.
stuffing. Yeah. Sorry for being a
Yeah.
minority. I didn't know that would be such a problem for you two.
The one case where the white guy gets to be the minority.
Yeah, you're like, oh, finally, my chance.
I guess I should just go fuck myself for thinking differently
Yep,
than the
yep,
rest of you.
correct.
Yes.
Sorry,
Yes.
just checking to make sure I don't fit in.
Oh wait, I guess you're also not
sorry,
straight. Never
I
mind.
just-
I guess you do get to be.
What, you think that's why I don't like stuffing?
Yeah,
That would make me more likely to enjoy stuffing.
I don't know where I'm going with this. Look, all I'm trying to say, moving on from this shit, is like,
But she could just have said it's my
honestly,
preference. It's like, I don't need to
honest
be
to
eating.
God, this is just a situation where it's easy if you fucking lie. Just there are times.
You don't even have
Yeah.
to lie. You could just say I wasn't in the mood for it, which is absolutely true.
That is true.
You just looked at it and you were
That
like,
is a
no.
lie, because the reason she's not in the mood for it is because she thinks it's
Well, she
poison.
thinks
Well,
it's-
okay,
she
but
thinks
it
it's-
can be twofold. You can look at it and be like, it doesn't look appetizing, and it looks a little poisonous.
Okay, so here's what happens. You go, I wasn't really feeling it. And the mom goes, why? And you go, I would prefer not to say. Or you start talking like the guy in the first one. You go, bravo.
Yeah.
Never
Just
seen
shrug
that
your shoulders and just
consistency
go,
before.
Like, it's just,
I don't know. I wasn't in the mood,
Yeah.
Mom. Why are you pressing
Yeah.
me on this?
I mean, okay. I'm trying to parse in my head because, like you mentioned, Joseph, you can freeze food for a long time, Like, freezing food does keep it pretty food safe, from what I know. I'm not going to say it's like a cure-all for food safety, but, I mean, if it was frozen for a while, it probably was fine to eat. I don't know that for sure, but, whatever. But at the end of the day, yeah, like, who fucking cares? Like, just lie. Just lie. This does not have to be a big deal. You can just be like, just like Danny said, just like, I just wasn't in the mood, or I was already full, or I wanted to fill up on different things. Maybe I'm watching what I eat, and I don't know. Who fucking knows? Say anything.
Let's ask the question. Do you think that it is last year's
100%.
casserole?
Yes.
Lock in
Yes,
your
yes,
answers
yes,
now.
absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely. It's
I-
100%,
100%.
You don't think she's being paranoid
No.
like the guy
No.
in the first one?
Nope. She's 100%
She's right. I promise you.
There's no reason to not bring like the big thing that has all the sweet potato casseroles. Why would you have it cut
Tupperware,
up into
yeah.
like different smaller containers?
That's all
weird.
I needed to hear.
Several small
Yeah.
and medium containers. Come on, it's freezer
Yes.
burn, right?
Yes.
Like it's freezer burn.
It is
Yeah.
from the freezer.
Okay, so let's ask the question then. For doing this thing where she, like, instead of dancing around the question, just is like, I think she's tricking me. Is she the asshole for that, do you think?
I don't. Wait, does she say that?
Hold on,
though?
let me see.
Well, she doesn't say she's tricking me, but she does reveal that she thinks that it's a year old and that it would have, like, all this stuff on it. She does make clear her actual problem with the dish. Is she being an asshole for, like, doing that with no evidence?
No.
No.
Why do you think not?
Because if you don't want
I
to
don't
eat
know.
something, you shouldn't be forced to eat it.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like, okay, this does not go for picky eaters, all right? Picky eaters, I am not validating you. You are not welcome here. This is not a safe space for you.
Yeah.
Well. Looks like you've had a challenge to your worldview, peeps.
I don't
Wait,
know about
what?
that, but
No, I'm saying that.
Either you're siding with picky eaters,
No.
or you think
Shut
that
the
she's
fuck
not
up.
the asshole.
No, I'm not. Because
Oh
she
my
clearly
God.
likes sweet potato casserole. It's just she thinks that this conglomeration in front of her
Right.
is like literally a year old.
yeah, because like I think she'd be happily disproved if it looked completely
Yes,
normal.
if you have
Right.
that suspicion and that's the reason you're not eating something, well, you're 100% valid in being like, I'm gonna avoid that.
That looks really bad, and it looks like my fears of like I think she brought last year's.
Yeah.
Looks like weird and dry and gross.
Yeah.
Okay, let's not to do thing but other thing. But what if her number one problem with the sweet potato casserole wasn't that it was a year old, but she loves sweet potato casserole. She got some, but when it got on her plate, it touched the gravy. And she was like, ew, I can't eat it if it's touching. Would it be okay then? It's the same situation, right? It's you don't want sweet potatoes for a stupid
It's
reason.
literally not the same situation. Those are two different things.
It is. It actually
It's
is.
literally not.
You know what? I think it'd be fine either way, right? Like, it's your plate.
Actually, you know what?
What do they do? If I don't finish my fucking, you don't want it? Yeah, I don't. I'm full.
You know, we all know how I feel about picky eaters, but I do understand people not liking their food touching. Like, I don't care because I eat like plates of slop. But if people are just like, I don't want to mix up the flavors.
Yeah,
like,
we already know.
I do understand that. Okay,
Let's
sure.
vote on this one.
Okay.
Decision time.
All right. When it comes to the woman who can't lie to save her life, Jordan, is she
No,
the
not
asshole?
at all. I mean, if you have this suspicion, it's just going to feel terrible eating this anyway, because you're going to be like, oh my God, was this safe to eat? And you're going to be like anxious about it for, I don't know, days or whatever. Maybe. I don't know if this poster is an anxious person, but this is fine. If you don't want to eat something, just don't eat it. If you think that it's like old or whatever, and then just lie about why you didn't eat it. That's what you should have done, but whatever. I don't know. Who cares? You're not the asshole.
Danny?
I don't think they're the asshole for not eating the food at all. And the original post is, am I the asshole for not eating a Thanksgiving dish I suspected was made like kind of last year? The rumors kind of pushed of like, yeah, I think it's this, which like regardless of if I believe, which I do, I think she's right, still is like, I get what you're saying, Joseph. You still don't know that. But if you're just talking in confidence with like your mom, like you're just like, I don't know, I think she brought it from last year, but that's just me. I don't know, And she's like, no, I think it's fine. Like, I don't think it would last that long. And it's like, well, she cut it up a porters. I think it's a conversation that you're like having with your family, in confidence. And you're just like, I think it's fine. Completely fine. You're not an asshole.
Well, in the interest of disagreeing, I will say that she is, just because she's got to learn to lie better.
That's
I agree
true.
with.
I agree with that. I agree.
But for disagreeing, you must die now.
Shink.
But wait.
All right. Well, not before I give you the update to this post, which includes the determination as to the age of this yam.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Are you ready?
I'm so ready.
Oh, let's
Dear
go.
listener, and to the both of you, I did not read this ahead.
Yeah, I didn't
so
read it either.
that's all vibes that we just guessed on. So let's keep going.
Yeah.
All right. After spending my whole morning reading and answering comments, I decided to pass by my mother's house and have an in-person talk. I read some of the comments on the original post, and she thinks the internet is a strange place. We agreed I can always come and tell her what I think truthfully. She has not talked to anyone else in the family about the yam debacle. We decided to call my brother and ask if we can go to his house and have a talk with him and the sister-in-law. He said to brace ourselves and come with an open mind. When we got there, the sister-in-law was crying uncontrollably, and my brother took us to the kitchen, which was a mess. Long story short, they were indeed leftovers, just not a year old. Sometime before her passing, sister-in-law and her mom had made several family recipes as a bonding experience. The casserole was one, and my sister-in-law had froze several containers of it. On Thanksgiving week, she thawed some of it and tried to replicate the taste without luck. The pressure of making it for us got the best of her, and she got more and more frustrated as the date approached. On Thursday, she gave up and decided to reheat the one she had frozen. As to why my sister-in-law noticed I didn't eat her dish, apparently in prior years, I had complimented the casserole as the best one I'd ever tried. So this year, she was expecting a comment and was sad when I didn't even try it.
What?
I apologized and told her I was so sorry I hurt her feelings. She apologized for singling me out. We told her to rest, and in the meantime, my brother and mother and I cleaned the kitchen, tidied the house, and Mom made a soup. Ajiaco. If you know, you know. I don't know what that
I
is.
do not know.
I'm Googling it real quick. Colombian, Cuban, and Peru soup.
Ooh, my God, that sounds good.
Huh.
Fuck.
Whoa. This is like a broth soup with potato, avocado, and like corn
fuck,
in it.
man.
And when I say corn, I mean like a cob of
Wow.
corn.
Looks
My
good.
mom decided to stay, but I left a bit after everything was done and everyone was calm. As a goodwill gesture, I'm getting my sister-in-law a spa day I think she will enjoy and help her feel better. That's pretty much it. No fight, no scene. Sorry, not sorry. Thanks for all your opinions. I will be thoughtful of people's feelings, but I still will not eat something I don't want to just to please someone. No reports that anyone got sick. Lastly, does my mother think frozen food can get moldy? She claims she said it in the heat of a moment and I was annoying her. But she knows cooking is not my forte, so she thought I had no good comeback to it. I opened her freezer and there's only meat and ice cream, so who knows at this point? I appreciate her not only this is one of those situations that's like, wow, I appreciate everyone here is emotionally intelligent and was able to have this conversation without hurting anyone. And you were able to resolve this question where I was like, is the mom stupid?
Exactly.
What do you not know?
I was gonna say.
No, that's actually kind of sweet. Like it's
Yeah.
just sad, dealing with loss. And it's just like trying to deal with that loss and just like recreate this dish and you never get it right. Ugh, man, that's sad. But I'm happy there was
I can't imagine what she was feeling. I imagine like, there's a couple of meals that my parents would make growing up that taste such a specific way that I can't do. I just can't do it. And if I had made them with them right before their passing and I was like, it's going to be a warm remembrance in the holiday season, and I just couldn't do it over and over, I would be like a fucking mess. I could see this happening.
1,000,000%. Yeah, wow.
The council has spoken.
All right, ready for the last one?
Yep.
All right, this last one we're going to have to be careful with. 2 hours ago, this is, am I the asshole for telling off my partner's grandma, as we do not want to go to her side of the family for Christmas? All right, the reason that we got to be careful with this one is this first line.
I can't believe what I'm reading.
I have been listening to a lot of Will of the Council, and it has inspired me to make this post. All right.
I'm so sorry.
1, appreciate that. 2, if we find out this post is fake and you're trying to clout your way into being on the pod, we're killing you. Like in real life. We're coming to your house and we're shooting you.
That's great.
We are poisoning your mayonnaise. It will be liquid.
Yeah, your mayonnaise is liquid. You got to check the trash can if you know what I mean.
I can't believe that the way that you have been inspired by listening to this podcast is going to post on Reddit.
Well, I got to post my own problem.
I want to see some people who are like, I have been inspired by Will of the Council to talk to my partner instead of bringing it online.
I know. We failed you, actually, is what's happening.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. All right. Well, here we go.
I, F24, and my partner, M24. Oh my God, it's a woman.
Oh my God.
All right.
Great.
You have to tell us, did your partner get you into Will? And if they did, we side against him 100% of the time.
Are you our 6th or 7th woman listener?
I have 24 and my partner M24 have been together for 3 years, and this will be our 3rd Christmas together. My partner's side of the family usually attends 3 Christmas celebrations, including his grandma's side of the family. Oh my God, it's too many. However, my partner dislikes this Christmas because of who attends it and wants to avoid going. Since it was his side of the family, I allowed him to decide if we were going to go and followed him with whatever decision he chose. After long conversation, we decided we did not want to go and let his grandma know at the end of November. These are the reasons we cannot come. 1. The venue is a 3-hour drive away. We do not live near our hometown, and Christmas is scheduled to start Sunday at 3. This means we couldn't stay the whole time. I don't like driving in the dark. I live in Canada. 2, my partner is currently in college and has finals scheduled on the Friday before Christmas and the Monday and Tuesday mornings after Christmas. Wait, the fuck?
Hold on.
What?
First of all, I don't know what living in Canada has to do with anything, so whatever. But
the roads aren't as good, I imagine.
Okay.
There's like snow. There's a lot of snow.
Okay.
Okay. My partner is currently in college and has finals scheduled on the Friday before Christmas and then the Monday and Tuesday morning after. Okay, sure. That's, yep. Okay, I'm following. Yep.
Got it.
The individuals on his side of the family are very conservative and will express their views and beliefs very freely, even if you don't want to hear them or believe in them. For example, my partner and I were told we would be living in sin by that whole side of the family when we decided to move in together before marriage. Side note, my partner's grandparents do not have these beliefs, only the siblings. And 4th, my partner's grandma, oh boy, likes to use this Christmas as an opportunity to show all of her grandchildren and great-grandchildren around like show animals. It throws off the vibe of the whole Christmas. For example, she wouldn't let go of my partner's new 2-month-old nephew last Christmas and showed him off to all her siblings. She kept kissing him even though my partner's sister told her to stop it and she wouldn't listen. I work in public health and this gave me the ick. She only has this behavior when her siblings are around, according to my partner. When we politely told my partner's grandma we were not coming, she didn't take it well. Following our initial response, my partner kept getting text messages from her asking to go or sad face emojis. It was making him uncomfortable and he complained to me about it. I finally gave in last night and sent her a stern message saying we are not coming. Please stop asking us about it. She never responded. This morning, while I was at work, she called my partner crying and tried to guilt trip him into coming, blaming me for not letting him come. His sisters are now in the mix, and he is questioning his decision, and I don't know what to do.
Okay. I mean, because we did the Thanksgiving episode, and we talked about how I don't necessarily want to paint my opinion as you have to sort of keep the bridges built and go to see family no matter what. That's not my real opinion on Thanksgiving and Christmas visiting. What I will say is there is a very important thing that you can lean in on here, which is that your partner needs time to study for exams. It was like college exams that are happening, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, you're not going to have this excuse every year, but it can be said like we need to tone back on going places for Christmas because he's got to study. Like, he has to spend this time studying. He just has exams all throughout the holidays, and it sucks. It really doesn't feel fair, but that's just the way it is right now. So we have to dial back the time we spend celebrating for the holiday weekends. That's what I would do in this situation, I guess. And, you know, there are a lot of other valid things that you bring up that make it kind of sucky and you don't want to go. I don't know. Being around grandparents can kind of be weird because they're just at a phase of life that you don't necessarily understand or have the ability to sympathize with. Like parading around nephews and grandchildren and all that. Like, we and where we are at in life don't really understand it, but for the grandparents, it's probably like a great joy for them. I don't know. It's like, sure, however you feel about it is valid too, but I don't. What I'm trying to say is the biggest thing to lean in on is the fact that there is very important schoolwork and college stuff happening around this time that needs to be the focus this year. That's kind of what I think. I'm willing to be swayed potentially, though.
Okay, so here's what I'll say. You've been together for 3 years, right?
Yeah.
This isn't like a new, fresh relationship, and it is time for the pair of you to graduate from being like girlfriend and boyfriend to being partners, right? And you know, they say in here they were referring to them as their partner, etc. And it's like, what that means is the two of you are going to have to come to a mutual understanding. There's this one weird thing that's happening here where the poster is like, listen, this is your side of the family, and we all know what it's like to have like some parts of your family where you're like, okay, here we go, you know, let's just grin and bear it. So you make the decision on if we're going, and then I will just adhere to whatever you choose, right?
Right.
So he makes the decision, and then he changes his mind because the grandma butts in.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, we're standing firm on this decision. And it's like, okay, but you already told him it was his decision to make, right? And you were just going to kind of show up. I think, let me be clear. I don't mean that means you suck and you are awful and the asshole here. I think it means you got to start thinking about this differently. You got to be like, the two of us need to personally decide if this is a good idea or not without input from the family, then stand firm in our convictions together, right? Like, we need to operate as a unit instead of I'm a person who could be swayed, you're a person who could be swayed, right? I think if you don't want to go to this thing, the finals schedule is a really easy out.
Yes.
It's something you can't control. It's just happening. That's just the way it is. It has nothing to do with the fact that you bristle at some of the personalities of the people who are going to be there. And I think the one thing you really fucked up here is, why would you message the grandma? What's going on here? Why did you take it upon yourself to be like, I need to tell the grandma off?
That's
like,
the part
the grandma
I'm missing.
is guilt tripping, is being overbearing. Because now it is going to be so easy for them to be like, your evil bitch of a wife did not let you attend the family Christmas gathering. It seems like step one, invent a time machine. But step two, it seems like what you do is you're like, okay, we're going or we're not going. This is our excuse or not. And this is what we're telling people. And then if a family member texts your partner and says, oh, I wish you were coming, your partner can be like, yep, me too, but I'm not. I don't know. Not to tell the pair of you off, but I think your partner needs to be willing to stick to the decision he made, and you can't fight his battles on this.
Yeah, the thing is, I do, approaching this with empathy, I do understand why you took it upon yourself to message the grandma. Because it's like, we're already like struggling with this decision as much as it is. Please stop messaging him and guilt tripping him about this. It's really annoying. Like, we are adults. We have lives. Like, come on. Can you get with the program here? But I think it also kind of displays a little bit of a lack of empathy on your part by doing that. Because from the grandma's perspective, even though, as Joseph put it, you bristle with the personalities on that side, it is a person that's in a different phase of their life than you are. They feel like they have limited time. They want to soak in as many moments with all of the family as they can. I am not saying that to say, well, you should always go see your grandparents. I'm saying that to say, maybe you should take that perspective into account before you
Yeah.
act. And in this case, you didn't do that before you acted, and you let your anger get the better of you here when I don't think it needed to. Although I understand how you responded, but that doesn't make it necessarily the correct way to respond here.
Yeah, I do wish we had more context on this because it could change wildly depending on how like both of you speak, right? Like if the conversation is, like I'm really sick of my grandma, she's texting me again and again about it, and like you offhand go, do you want me to tell her? And he goes, yeah. And you do that and you have that relationship established. It's a completely different story, but we don't know that, right? From this, it just sounds like you interjected and said, stop. And it made her upset, clearly, which, sucks, obviously. And it's obviously something that you maybe should have expected. I don't know how the relationship is. I don't know the personalities. It's tough to gauge these kinds of things. But I agree with you both. I think that you just gotta, like, if you are going to stand firm, continue to work as a unit, right? Like that is key in this. And I think that that's the only kind of mistake, because everything else, it doesn't even sound like you were mean or like a jerk when you told her, just like, listen, I'd like to reiterate, because I know you're continuing to ask, my partner, that like it's going to be so sad if he doesn't go. I understand that, and I'm sorry, but our decision stays and it's not going to change.
Yeah.
Like that is completely fine and within your right to do so. It's just getting there. If you move as a unit, it's completely fine. It doesn't matter. Which
I disagree. I think the male partner is going to have to be the one to send this message.
I'm just saying I don't know the context. Like if it's if she is like, if they're completely, I don't know, in like a group chat, or like they're like together and they both decide, like, I don't know. I agree. I mostly agree that I think that the guy should have just put his foot down, and then you together decide. Whoever the arbiter of the information is, it doesn't matter. It's just as long as you make the decision together.
Yeah, I actually think there is a way forward here that does not involve a time machine, though. I do believe that it's going to take a little bit of massaging in terms of the communication here, but I think you, as the poster here, I'm addressing you, you send a follow-up message to the grandma, and you say, I'm sorry, I sent that message in frustration. Both of us are also upset that we can't make Christmas with you this year. It sucks because of just the way exams and school landed, and we both, the messages he was getting from you were upsetting him, and they were upsetting me too, and I'm sorry I let that get the better of me. However, that doesn't mean we can come. We can't change our schedules this year, and I'm very sorry about that. And I still am sorry that I reached out to you the way that I did. And it's also going to take the partner, him sort of reiterating what the schedule for you guys looks like this year. Like it's going to have to come from both of you, because to Joseph's point, it is going to give off that, well, your bitch wife won't let you like that. Like this evil woman, like that's, we want to avoid that at all costs, right? So that is the route I would take moving forward. If I was to give you unsolicited advice, that's what I would say.
All right, you ready to vote on this one?
Yup.
Decision time.
All right, when it comes to this woman who has very evilly prevented her partner from coming to the Christmas party, Jordan, do you think she's the asshole?
I actually am gonna say yeah. I say it a lot, and I think I've said it a lot this time, but you do, even though it is not something we can understand, we have to try to empathize with the perspective of somebody that is in like a final phase of their life. I don't know how old the grandparents are. I'm just assuming that they're in their, 70s, whatever. Maybe 60s, maybe even older, though. She could be like 80, it puts us in uncomfortable situations that we don't want to be in. But sometimes that's what life is. We do have to be in uncomfortable situations we don't want to be in with people that we don't necessarily agree with. And you reaching out the way that you did and not acting like a cohesive unit in this situation, it made you blow up. You gave in to your frustration and you hurt someone when you didn't need to. That's really the thrust of it. And I think for that, you are the asshole, but this can be fixed.
Danny?
I mostly agree. I think that a lot of the conversation should have happened right at the, like, he's complaining a lot about this, and not like, oh, I'll go fix it, because I understand where you're coming from. I get like, maybe it wasn't even frustration. Maybe it was something else. Maybe you were like, oh, I want to stop bothering my partner. But, I think that it is hard to put the reins on that and say, okay, what next? And, you know, because it seems a little flip-floppy as well, right? Because at first you were ready to kind of accept whatever he decided, and he decides no. And if he changes his mind, it seems more like, no, now I want this. And I want to say no to them because that's what we're doing, right? And so I don't know, where's that conversation happening from? And so it can be a little rough. And so I think the conversation has to move away from you sending the stern message and encouraging your partner to do it if that's what he wants to do. And if it's like, oh, she's complaining so much to me, and you say, that stinks. What are you going to do about it? You know, like, what are we going to do about it together? Are you going to respond? Do you want to go still? Like, that's the conversations that should be happening, and they kind of don't. And unfortunately, it means, I don't think you're like a mean person or anything, but I do think it is an assholey moment to tell off the partner's grandma, for sure.
I'm going to agree. I think your partner should have sent it. I think it's going to be really easy to paint you as the evil woman who won't let her partner go to the Christmas party now. And you gotta work to beat the allegations on that.
Unravel it a little bit, which isn't hard.
Yeah.
It's easy.
Yeah, no, it doesn't sound like this thing is completely unsalvageable. I will say, though, you know, the good news is there's a really, you know, a short time frame associated with this. She's mad now, but she's a grandma. You know, if you stay together for 20 years, you're not going to have to worry about it.
You know, he's not wrong.
You know, so true, bestie, actually.
The council has spoken.
All right, okay. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Waka, waka, waka,
Shut
waka,
up.
waka, 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 waka.
I hope that's in the movie. Woohoo! All right. Bye.